Okay, I think I'm gonna go and wash my hair because I literally just impulsively cut and like trimmed some of it. So I just want to wash it and have it dry properly. I just need to attempt to do that without messing up what I just did to my eyebrows, eyelashes, lips, and cheeks. Wish me luck. Please stop moving away. Okay, so we both just finished listening to the audiobook Odessa by Gabrielle Schur. We both gave it 3.75. Thoughts? Very swift, quick thoughts.
I thought that the story was very interesting. The plot was great. Overall, very good. It was just a little difficult to keep track of. There were some things that weren't explained until later on, where in the moment you go, I don't really know what's happening here.
Yeah,
until later.
Yeah.
But then also the specific edition of the audiobook that we were listening to, amazing.
Yes.
So good.
Yes, especially with the different languages that were involved.
Yeah.
I think it was Hebrew, and I saw something about Yiddish, but I didn't see any official sources stating these things, so I'm not 100% sure. But the narrator, wow, great job. Loved the narration. I just felt like certain parts of the way that the overall plot and writing were done, that confused me just a little bit, and I did get lost every now and then, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
And it was really good. And it was very unique
Yes.
as well.
I think the narrator also pronouncing the words so well, at least
Yes.
it seemed
I
like
mean, I would assume so. I don't speak
I think
Hebrew.
that also made it more, what do you call it when you're...
Intriguing?
Yes,
Immersive.
Immersive, that's what I was looking for, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
High five. Okay, so we just finished How Fascism Works, The Politics of Us and Them by Jason Stanley and McLeod Andrews as narrator. I really liked it. Mark really liked it.
Yeah.
We're not sure on the rating just yet, but we are appreciative of how educational it was and how it didn't feel like the author was trying to push a certain narrative politically or otherwise.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I mean...
Well, so I would say, to summarize, the book is educational. It's relatively just, here's the facts, here's what's what, and it doesn't feel inherently like, oh, this is anti-fascism or anything like that. But as Mark was saying, it does come across that way, but I think that's just because everything you're hearing sounds bad.
Yeah.
So you're like, ooh, if that's what fascism is, that's like, this is bad. And so that in that aspect, I do think that it can come across in a like anti-fascism manner.
And then I also wanted to mention that we both really...
Sorry, you look like just a head floating in the frame.
We both really enjoyed the way that they use
Historical and modern.
Yeah, historical events to explain what is currently happening, because just judging by the title of the book, if you go into it blind, it's not...
It doesn't inherently state anything
whether
about...
it's current or whether it's historic. But
it just says it's about fascism.
Exactly. So I like the way that it explains things specifically about the Trump administration.
Yeah. And then gives you historical context of, oh, here's an old example of fascism, and here's like the parallels of the two.
Exactly. And I think it comes all the way into examples of 2025, which I know he mentioned 2025 at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, 2016. He speaks about Trump during like 2016 and his entire campaign and things that happened during that time.
Okay, correction. Not 2025, 2016, 2017, that.
Just like that general era, because it was published in 2018. So it's it basically talks about Trump's campaign as well as obviously his presidency during that time frame, which he was inaugurated on the 20th of January 2017, so it would have run... Because Mark sounds confused, I'd like to clarify that I mean his talking about Trump's campaign would have run from November 8th, 2016 to January 20th, 2017, because he was inaugurated, which means he became president. And so his presidency itself obviously ran for however fucking long it ran. I don't know. I'm not in America. I don't keep track of American politics like that. Anyway, just to clarify, in case I stated that weirdly, because I fear I may have. Super quick update because it's quite warm and I just want to put my fan back on, but it's far too distracting to have it on while I update. As you just saw in the previous clip, I am 36% into Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne-Jones, which my friend chose for me to read out of my April TBR, so there's the context in case we have forgotten by any chance. At chapter 8, there are 21 chapters, and as of right now, I think that the book is extremely similar to the movie, and it's honestly just as good, so I think this could be a fun little 4.5 star, just because I do think that there is a certain whimsy to the movie that isn't quite being portrayed in the book, which makes me feel like it's not going to be a 5-star per se, but everything is feeling very nostalgic and just, I guess, reminiscent of the movie, which is really good because I loved the movie so much. Aside from those points, I don't think I really have much else to say. Howl is exactly what I expected him to be. I have in the past, if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like I heard people saying that Howl was very different in the book than he is in the movies, and I don't think that I agree with that per se, but I don't know if maybe I'm just misremembering Howl because I haven't seen the movie in a very long time. So when I'm done with this, I do plan on watching the movie so that I can come back and tell you if I actually do think that they're as similar as I'm saying I feel like they are now, because I just don't think that I can say that with full confidence at the moment. But I also don't want to watch the movie now because I don't want my love for the movie to sway my judgment of this book, because what if the differences from the book to the movie make me dislike the book for whatever reason? Those kinds of things. I want this to be as fresh as possible in terms of opinions and feelings. So that is where I'm at right now, and I will be back probably when I'm done with the book. I'm gonna be so honest, I think I'm just gonna sit here, continue reading, and just finish the book. Hopefully before we go for dinner. It's my dad's birthday, so we're going for a little family dinner, but maybe I can finish it before then. It's currently 10 to 4, so I have 2 hours. Can I finish 60%-ish of a book in that amount of time? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see what the reading speeds are hitting. So let's get into it. Okay, hello, beautiful people. I have officially finished reading Howl's Moving Castle by Diane Wynne-Jones. Now, initially, I know that I said that the book actually felt really similar to the movie. That opinion has since changed. I think that the beginning parts are quite similar. It's just as you kind of get to like the just before the middle and then sort of beyond the middle, like from there, the changes become a lot more evident. So that's kind of the main statement and opinion that I want to address and change. Other than that, I was correct. I don't know if I said this, but I was at least thinking it. I predicted a 4 to 4.5 star for the book. I gave this 4.25 stars. So overall, opinions and feelings toward the book haven't really changed. Now, in terms of what differences there are, I don't want to say too much because I do feel that a lot of the changes would be spoilers. However, I can tell you that the beginning portion's extremely similar, the overall setup and the vibe of all of the characters, very, very similar, but I would say that the biggest differences that don't feel like spoilers to me is that in the movie, we have a war that's going on. The book does not have that. That war does not exist in this book. Your main villain is the Witch of the Waste, and that's kind of the primary evil that we have going on. Then another difference that I think is worth pointing out is Hal's character. I know that I said I wasn't really seeing Hal's character as like super different from in the movie. I get it now. He's definitely a lot more vain in the book than he is in the movie, and I do think that there are a lot of other differences that I just don't necessarily feel the need to share. I think that they would be better experienced than explicitly stated by me. And then also another difference, book Sophie has two sisters and you actually interact with them quite a bit in the books, whereas movie Sophie has one sister and she interacts with that sister, Letty, once, I think, maybe twice if I am recalling this correctly. But yeah, those are like the primary differences that I feel like I am allowed to share. So I'm just gonna stop right there. Now, what am I reading next, we may ask ourselves, because it is only the 9th, so it's only Thursday, and I plan on either completing and just wrapping up this video tomorrow or Sunday, so I do have time to read some more. Obviously, I'm still reading 1Q84, I just can't talk about that here because that is a separate vlog. Okay, dogs, tell 'em. I am planning on starting the audiobook Pretty Evil by Zoe Rossi as a NetGalley arc that I have, so I'll probably discuss that if I can finish it. But in terms of other physical reads in this video, I don't think that I'm necessarily going to do any. I think I'll wrap up some of the arcs that I have on NetGalley because I think I have 2 or 3, so maybe I could do those for the rest of this and then save the other books from my physical TBR, which are Jane Eyre's Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Please Look After Mother by Kyung Suk Shin. Sorry, I'm looking at them. And then Grimm's Fairy Tale by Brothers Grimm. I think I'll save that for maybe a different video. Although I could also start The Poet Empress in this video because that is an ebook and that is also my April TBR. Okay, so undecided, but I will definitely read at least 1 to 2 more books in this video, but I think I'm leaning more toward my NetGalley arcs because I do need to do those as soon as possible.
Oh, yes, and you are so precious. Look at the face. Oh, you are such a cute little guy. Yes, hello. Are you guys butt to butt? Is this a butt to butt moment, Damon? Is this a butt to butt moment? Oh, are those the rubbing of the bellies? Oh, sneeze, achoo. Bless you. Is your tongue sticking out? No, not this time. Okay, that's a little sad. High five. Are you enjoying the rain? It's raining. It never rains here. Is there a toadie in here? Is there a toadie in here? Is there a toady appreciating the rain in the dark room? Isn't this so cute? Oh, wait. Rain!
Guys, I just started Pretty Evil and I really should have looked into what this was about. I'm gonna put in some content warnings on the screen so that you guys know what you're getting into if you do decide to check this one out. Because I did not check the content warnings and I don't know if I'm in the mood for this kind of read, but I feel obligated to continue because it was a NetGalley read, and I really should have just done my due diligence and checked the content warnings and checked what it was about before getting into it, but I didn't. Oh, and I regret that so much. Hello, okay, so this is my last clip of this video. This is the end of this video. I just want to start with that. It's currently Monday and yesterday I was just really busy, so I didn't get a chance to finish Pretty Evil, but I finished it now this morning and I'm here to bring you my review. So starting off with just my star rating, I gave it 3.5. Again, I'm going to put the content warnings right here because I do think that this book definitely warrants it. Okay, so I'm actually going to read my review that I wrote on Storygraph. You guys are a little skewed because I had to scooch you to the right and then I couldn't figure out how to get the camera to sit straight, so bear with me. Also the dogs are barking, so bear with that please. But I just want to get this done so I can edit this and get this ready to be scheduled for later this week. So let's read this review. I really liked the overall premise of the book. The here's a woman getting revenge for her own trauma and taking out bad guys idea was cool. The writing wasn't perfect, but it was still good. I wasn't mentally prepared for the topics we'd cover, which definitely impacted my enjoyment of the book a bit, but that was fully on me. Overall, a good plot, interesting characters, and good writing. Though I will say the smut, for lack of a better term, as per usual, not my thing, and I definitely felt removed from the story during the two smutty, but you guys are falling. Don't do that. That is unnecessary. Ladies, as I was saying, it says, not my thing. I definitely felt removed from the story during the two smutty bits there were, and the first one felt particularly uncomfortable given the just experienced prior bit. I wasn't comfortable with it. Now, I can't really elaborate on what I mean by the prior bit and how that made this first initial sort of smutty bit really uncomfortable for me, but to keep this as unspoilery as possible and also as YouTube friendly as possible, because this is a very touchy area, the character in this book is sort of taking out predators, so men who are predators, you know what I mean, so whether they're child predators or just predators in general, she's going and she's taking them out, she's them. And just prior to her hooking up with someone, doing like a little one-night stand, a man, and saw some evidence of some not so great stuff on his phone, and it was pretty explicit and extremely uncomfortable, and then she went and she had a little one-night stand, and that made me very uncomfortable because it just felt weirdly predatorial as well, which really took me out of the overarching plot and idea that we had going on here. But yeah, to summarize, I think overall it was pretty good. The story and the plot was interesting and the writing was by no means bad, but I don't think that this is something that I'm going to be running around recommending to everyone. I think this is a very curated experience. I would recommend this to specific people, but not to just anybody, hence my 3.5. I think there were definitely aspects that I really liked, and then as I said, there were aspects that I didn't like. So yeah, but I think this could be a very controversial read for people, especially if this isn't something that you're mentally prepared to read. So yeah, I think for this one I'm just gonna say go into this with like a grain of salt, read the content warnings, read the synopsis, potentially maybe even look at some other people's reviews of this. I don't really know how I feel about this book at the moment, and I really struggled to curate my review as well as my rating because there were good aspects, but there were also bad aspects. So yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. Bye. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like to see me do in the comment section below.